Okay, back to these guitars. For sure, I've got some problems in the low mid range or upper low, whatever you want to call it. It's that 160 hertz range, give or take. I noticed it on a previous video, and I didn't really have time to address it at the time. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go ahead and solo all the guitar bus, so all of our 4 main tracks here. And I fired up iZotope Alloy, and the main reason for that is because it's got the spectrum analyzer right there, so I can work fast. I think Cubase should just do this automatically. I don't know why they do, or do not. Here we go. What I'm hearing is a whole lot of that, and it really bothers me. If you make sure you're hearing that. That is of no use to our guitar recording, boys and girls. Any of that stuff. It's very resonant, like, and I say resonant, not like, I mean very peaky, like a high Q type sound. I don't know why, it just sounds terrible to me. And this will happen with real cabinets. You don't hear it with Axe effects and things like that near as much. And that's one reason I like using some of these more modern, quote-unquote, fake tools. But my vintage greenback cabinet is especially bad about it. That may be what we used here, don't know. Okay, it doesn't really matter, but we can see it a little bit better. And we don't need our guitars, we want low end in our guitars, when palm muting and all that kind of stuff, to a degree. But we definitely don't want... So let's check that out. So let's start sweeping until we find it. You heard that little whoop, I think, or at least I did, where you can hear that something's malfunctioning when you do the little boost like this. If you hear that, you know you want to cut there. It may not be the only spot you need to cut, but I'm not going to stop there, but definitely 275 is an area of highly, suspect, I guess. Now see there, hit 227 and it just leaped out. I think we're clipping all over the place. There's something bad happening at 227. So we can go ahead and notch that pretty wide, actually, probably. We got to be careful here. We're working out of context, and that's okay to a degree. But I said, what was it, 275? So we'll kind of do something like that. Let's see what that does. Okay, what it boils down to is that 220 guy is our center, and we can just make him wider most likely. Let's see how it does. And I'm big on being skeptical of, name it, but I'm also I love being skeptical of being skeptical. And what does that mean? It means we have not yet found the center. We know we've knocked out some of the mud, but we need to know how far is too much. And we know our frequency, it's 233. I think it's even got Alloy's got a little shortcut. Oh, where is it? Shift, maybe? Dang, control? Well, let's run. Anyway, we know it's 233. They got a cool button where you can focus on that frequency, but it won't move. Anyway, so let's go ahead and find out where too thin is. It looks like we can go pretty far. I'm at 9 decibel cut right now. It might be too much, but I tell you one thing, I always like to be on the thin side on guitars at this early stage. If I think my guitars are woofy in the low end, that's not a hard thing to put it back in. But if we have that extra mud in there, it's going to cause problems the entire time. So it's in our interest definitely to knock that out. All right, so let's see how we're doing in context now, because that didn't matter. We're just kind of guessing when we're doing all the solo business usually. All right, that sounded pretty cool. Moving on.